22 years ago, when I first started teaching the You Can Paint class, 22 years ago. I'm having a flashback. Everything is getting ripply and wavy. 22 years ago. 22 years ago. I can see it all now, as if it were only yesterday. 22 years ago, I discovered something to my astonishment, and that was that more than anything else, people needed to overcome their own barriers to becoming an artist. And it's what's called the urge to fail. Desire to fail. And we all have this. Everybody does. I do, you do, we all do. We're all born with the urge to fail. Why? That's the subject of shelves full of books. Why we think we should fail. But typically it's because we're afraid of success. We fear it. We fear success. Why do we fear success? Well, first of all, because God or the gods, depending upon your point of view and your belief system, God or gods may punish you for succeeding. You know, that it's the old tradition. Go away, you know, don't curse me. Like that. And that's from the old world, and from the Middle East, and from the East, and from Central America, South America. They believe that you spit 3 times and you put away your success, so that the gods don't strike you down. Now, first of all, you have to get rid of that. Not that the gods will strike you down, because it probably will happen, but you have to not care that they're going to do this because you're going to succeed. Secondly, it's also because of self-esteem issues. We have issues with ourselves, self-loathing issues with ourselves, and those issues have to vanish from your art, not from your life. As I said, you can keep them in your life all your life if you wish to. Just keep hating yourself all you want, no problem. But as an artist, you can't afford it. So you have to put that aside, at least during the time when you're doing your art. Now, after you've done the art, you can put the self-loathing back in there and look at your art and say it's crap. That's all right. But while you're doing it, you can't do that. You have to let the artist come through you. The great artist come through you. You can call the great artist anything you like. You can call the great artist God or fate or the gods or the spirits or Uncle Harry, whatever it might be. But something is going to come through you when you're working as an artist. Something is going to come through you. Something of spirit is going to come through you. And when it does, you need to be out of the way. And self-loathing blocks that spirit. So you must get rid of it at least during the time that you're producing the artwork. And it's just something you owe to the artist, to the great artist. You owe it. You're not allowed to keep that blockage in place. So that's where You Can Paint comes in. I can paint. I'm allowing myself to do this. Now, one thing I discovered about this was that when we produce a piece of art, most of us are either American or Western. So we have built into us something horrible, which is the idea that art is a product. Something that's worth something on eBay. Now, having said that, I sell an average of 2 to 10 pieces on eBay every day, and I have sold at an average of $200 to $1,200 average each piece. I'm doing very well as an artist. I'm very grateful that I'm making a living as an artist, a good one, a very comfortable living. I didn't think I would. I thought I would starve to death. I told, in fact, the registrar at Otis. She asked me, she said, "Why do you want to go to Otis?" I said, "Well, I thought I'd starve to death." She turned beet red, and chewed me down for 5 minutes until I finally gaspingly said, enough, enough. I cried uncle. But she told me that as long as I was even a halfway decent artist, I would never starve to death, not actually starve to death. I might drop all my pencils in a fit of panic. There's another one down below you. There you go. Another one down there, too. They're all over the place, actually. And but she said, you never actually starve to death. If you're a halfway decent artist, you won't starve to death. Not actually starve. You might go hungry once in a while, but you're not going to starve to death. And if you do it well as an artist, you actually can make a comfortable living at it. Now, Lynn Larson, who isn't here today, but who is here from time to time as he can make it, he works for Disney and for Warner Brothers and for many, many other things. He's a cartoon animation director. And so when he gets time, he comes here when he has a little free time. He doesn't get a lot of free time anymore. He's working a lot. He does the Pink Panther. He did the Pink Panther titles, all of them, for the movies. And he does all that kind of thing. So, but he will tell you that you can make a very comfortable living, incredibly comfortable. He was making $7,000 a week as an animation director in the 70s and 80s. He doesn't take on that workload anymore wisely. He can't. I can't either. So I discovered this urge to fail, this desire to fail. And I thought, well, now wait a minute. How can we combat this? Now, I know it'll occur to you as soon as you ask yourself a question like that. It's kind of an engineering question. When an engineer asks a question, the answer is already built in. You understand what I mean by that? The answer is implied in the question. Physicists, same thing. Chemists, same thing. As soon as you ask yourself the question, the answer is right there in the question. How can we combat this urge to fail? Why don't we try to fail? Do your damnedest to fail and see what happens. So I want you to do that. I want you to, right now, paint, draw, sketch, use pastels, use paints, whatever you like. The rottenest, stupidest, worst thing you could ever possibly paint or draw. Right now. Just do the worst thing you could ever do. A piece of total crap, something you'd be ashamed to show your own mother. No, your aunt, who looks everything you do. Your mother, you can never get approval from. Forget that.
She's the reason involved.
Yeah. Well, you can never get parental approval. Just live on that structure. You can never get parental approval. And they might tolerate, but they won't approve. That's okay. You don't have to get parental approval. But Aunt Tilly loves everything you do, thinks you're the greatest. So even something you can't even show her this piece of crap. It is so bad. The only thing you can do with this is crumple it up and throw it down the toilet.